property disclosures when selling your house? In this video, I am going to talk about what disclosures are when selling your house. Hi, my name is Betty Gonzalez, a real estate agent here in South Florida. Most people don't know what disclosures are, and it can be really confusing trying to figure out what you need to do when selling your house. But don't worry, I am here to help you, and I'm going to break everything down for you so that you have a better understanding of the process. Welcome to my channel and thanks for watching. So let's get what you came here for. So what are property disclosures when selling your house? You are required to fill out a disclosure form that lists any defect or problems with the property. This includes information about the property's condition, any repairs that have been made in the past, and any legal disputes that have taken place involving the property. It is important to be honest on this form, as buyers will likely do their own research on the property and could find out about any issues if you are not truthful. If you're unsure of anything on the disclosure form, you can disclose that also. So you can simply put down that you don't know. So why are property disclosures important? First of all, property disclosures are important because they provide potential buyers with information about the property that is for sale. And most importantly, it is required by law. By law, sellers must disclose any material defects with the property, and failure to disclose can result in lawsuits from buyers. If you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a smiley emoji if you didn't know you had to fill out disclosures when selling a house. So what should you disclose when selling a house? When selling your house, you are required to disclose any and all defects or problems with the property, and these disclosures should be given to the buyer before they sign any contract or agree to buy the house. It is important to remember that disclosure laws vary from state to state, so make sure you know what it is required in your area. The best way to avoid any potential legal issues is to simply disclose everything, even if it might make the sale more difficult. By disclosing all information about the property, both the sellers and buyers can rest assured that they are protected under the law. And as I mentioned before, if you fail to disclose any information about the property, you could be sued by the buyer. So how do you make disclosures, and what are the different types of disclosures when selling your house? As you imagine, when you're dealing with anything that could potentially send you in front of a judge, you must know that the disclosures are made in writing. There are a few different types of disclosures you should be aware when selling your house. The first one being the seller's disclosure statement, which is the one that you use to list any defect or problems with the property that the seller is aware of. The second one is the lead-based paint disclosure, which is required for all homes built before 1978, and there are other disclosures like radon gas and termites damage that need to be made depending on your state. And finally, there may be other disclosures specific to your state or region that you'll need to be familiar with. It is important to read through all of these disclosures carefully and understand what they mean for you as a seller in order to avoid any legal issues down the road. So what happens if you just don't disclose something? When you sell a house, there are a lot of things that go into the process. And as you learn in this video, one of those is making sure that you disclose everything you know about the property to the buyer. But if you genuinely don't know something, you cannot be held responsible. However, if you don't disclose something that you did know and it comes out after the sale has gone through and the buyer is able to prove that you knew, you could be in for some trouble, as the buyer could sue you for fraud or try to get their money back. So it is important and it is in your best interest to be honest and upfront with buyers so that everyone knows what they're getting into. Are there any other things to consider when selling a house? Yes, you could just have your home inspected by a professional to identify any potential problems up front. Once you know what the potential problems are, you could determine if you want to repair it or if you just simply want to disclose the problem and leave it up to the buyer to fix it. So as long as you disclose and the buyer is willing to purchase, everything should be okay. Now, remember that not taking care of simple issues could be reflected in the offers that you receive, and doesn't mean that the potential buyers will not do their own inspections. But what it does mean is that when you do get an offer from a buyer, even after they know everything that is wrong with the property, or things that have been fixed, that means that this offer is a strong one and the buyer will not come back later to try to haggle about the price, as you have already disclosed what the problems were up front. So no need to negotiate price on that, because that was already taken into consideration when the offer was made and accepted. So all in all, whether you decide to do an inspection or not, it is always wise to disclose anything and everything you know about the property when you put the house on the market. So now that you know what disclosures are, watch this next video where I'll let you know what contingencies are. But if you just don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos, consider subscribing. Betty Gonzalez, serving the military community of South Florida, from serving our country to serving you.